Welcome once again to Rob Watches, where I take a look at the latest animated movies and TV shows. And this week I checked out the much anticipated Star vs. the Forces of Evil. And when I say anticipated, I mean anticipated, because I believe the show had a preview at a Comic-Con last year, and ever since then people have been talking about it, people have been waiting for it to premiere, and all through the beginning of this year, Disney has been just running ads for it just non-stop. Like during every commercial break it seemed like there was one. So Disney's been really pushing this show. I guess they had to do something while we wait for new episodes of Gravity Falls. Seriously, when are the new episodes of Gravity Falls? So Star vs. the Forces of Evil is about a Ritalin-starved princess from another dimension named Star Butterfly. Unfortunately, she's not very good at magic and causes a ruckus in her kingdom, so her parents decide to send her to Earth, where all beings from outer space and other dimensions always end up somehow. She makes friends with a boy named Marco and stays with his family, so essentially she's the foreign exchange student. But meanwhile, a bunch of goofy-looking comic relief aliens are after her and want her magic wand. So before I go on, there's a few things you need to know about me. I don't like shows and movies about school, and I don't like magical girl anime. And essentially this show is both of those, although magical girl anime are usually about school. The reason why I don't like things about school is because, to me, fiction should be escapist, and school is like everyday life, and it's like, things tend to get in the way of a storyline. It's like, oh no, we have a test, or oh no, we're gonna make the team, or oh no, the prom, etc. And it's always the same thing. I don't hate all things involving school. I mean, one of my favorite movies ever is Breakfast Club, but when you have a show like this where there's fantastical elements, it's just, to me, it just kind of gets in the way. As for magical girl anime, well, they're all kind of the same. I mean, I've seen a bunch, and they all follow the exact same formula, pretty much. I don't really want to go into my problems with anime right now, because that's a whole rant. In fact, I was gonna plan on doing a video just based on that, but yeah, it's just not my thing. But again, that's a whole other thing. I really don't want to get into it right now. We'll save that for another time. But it is pretty clear that this show is very heavily influenced by anime, although a lot of shows are. Steven Universe is, I believe Adventure Time did some. My favorite was Regular Show, that proved that anime rots your brain. But it does feel very satirical. The little alien guy that's always hunting Star kind of reminds me a little bit of Emperor Pilaf from Dragon Ball. I'm showing my age now, great. But yeah, it's usually played up for laughs. It's not really in your face or too cliched, although the show is kind of predictable in the sense that we've seen this scenario before where, you know, a person, you know, a foreigner, like from space or from another dimension, or a time traveler or something like that, is in modern times and they don't understand things and they goof up and then chaos ensues. I mean, the show really doesn't do anything new, pretty much. Another weird thing about the show is that the character of Marco confuses me a little bit, because in the first episode, he came off as just like this real poser character who thinks he's cool, but he really isn't. And then when Star gets there, they establish he's overly cautious, like they were walking down the halls, and he was like, oh, watch out for that crack, oh, watch your head, like that. And then, but then it's established that he knows martial arts, and he's very good at it. So he's very capable when the monsters try to attack Star. He's able to hold his own in a fight, so yeah, he's kind of all over the place. And now this is where I get a little nitpicky, but something about the character design weirds me out a little bit. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's the teeth, because they have this, all the characters have like a big mouth and that very exaggerated, you know, smiles. And when their teeth are open, it's like these rows of like almost shark teeth, kind of. They look like bear traps, but I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it, but again, that's just a nitpick. So do I dislike this show? Well, no, I don't actually. It took me a little while to warm up to it, but it is a very entertaining show. It deals a lot with random humor, which, again, is another thing I'm not always too fond of. Sometimes it's done right, sometimes it's not. Here, again, it feels very satirical. Like, when she uses her magic wand, she shoots lasers, and the lasers have, like, narwhals in them and stuff, and I guess that's funny, because narwhals are funny. I don't know, I don't get it. One of Star's friends is the head of a unicorn, just a floating, weird, talking head of a unicorn. She was kind of cool, but again, just, it's a very random show. It's the kind of, you kind of have to like that kind of humor to really get into it. But I will say this show can be very funny. There's a lot of one-liners that really got me laughing. This is why you only have 2 friends! See, in context, that's hilarious. But yeah, I did find myself laughing at this show quite a bit. A lot of visual gags in this too. Like, there's a scene where Star tries to make a rainbow, and then the rainbow catches on fire, and I thought that was really funny. See, stuff like that to me is really funny. So yeah, I did like this show well enough. I think I like Pen Zero Part-Time Hero a little bit more, if only because while that show can do weird, crazy things too, there's also, you know, logic behind it. There's, it's a little bit more restrictive. It's restricted into its own, you know, little world. This show's kind of, you know, just a crazy sugar rush of randomness, and you again, you have to kind of really like that kind of humor to really get into it. But yeah, I do recommend it for a few laughs, or if you really love random humor. And I know a lot of people really like this show already, and boy, I can't wait to see 100 cosplayers of Star the next time I go to a convention. I think the real charm of this show is that everyone probably knows a girl like Star, just very, very friendly, but also very hyperactive and easily distracted, and has severe ADD, and they all go to anime conventions. I can personally confirm that. But anyway, that's all I got for Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of it. My name is Rob, and have a wonderful day.